here with UFC Hall of Famer, the legendary Rashad Evans. And we are here to talk about the big fight this weekend taking place, UFC 257, featuring the return of Conor McGregor against Dustin Poirier. And we're going to get into the odds according to betonline.ag, who has McGregor as a big favorite, minus 305, with Poirier being a big underdog at plus 255. The over-under on this is 2.5 rounds. The under is the over is plus 160. The under is minus 200, all according to betonline.ag. But we're here to talk with Rashad Evans. And Rashad, what is your take on this fight? Give me a breakdown. Tell us what you think.
Well, I mean, this is going to be a good fight no matter what. You know, you have Dustin Poirier, who's been proving himself over the last few fights. You know, great fight with Max Holloway, great fight with Justin Gaethje, and his last fight against Dan Hooker really showed that he's definitely improving and getting on another level. But here's the thing about it. He's been in these wars with these guys, and wars, after a while, starts to take a toll on your body, and you just don't have anymore. You get a little bit chinny, and things like that start to happen. Now you have Conor McGregor, who's been out the last year or so and really haven't put his body through it, hasn't been in the wars that Dustin has been in. And I think that's why he's coming to this fight as a favorite. And also the fact that he has a lot of heat in that left hand. That left hand, when Conor McGregor hits you, it puts people to sleep. You know, when he came out, when he fought Cowboy, he put Cowboy away and looked so convincingly doing it. He just showed that he just grew another level with just innovation and being creative when he was in there fighting with the shoulder strikes and everything else like that. So Conor's coming in this fight with a lot of hype around him just because he's coming in as a fresher fighter. Can Dustin Poirier pull it out? Of course he can, but at the end of the day, my money's with Conor McGregor because he has a big, powerful left hand, and he beat him before. He beat him before inside the first round with that big left hand, and I think he's going to be able to catch him again with that big left hand. So I'm going with Conor McGregor on this one.
So you're taking Conor McGregor, obviously the favorite, minus 305 according to betonline.ag. So let me ask you this though. The over-under, 2.5 rounds, as I said, over is plus 160, which means you bet $100 to win 160, or are we going to be under 2.5 rounds at minus 200? You got to bet 200 to win 100. Where do you see that ending?
I'm gonna say it's gonna be under. I think he's got to get him out here early. You know, the longer this fight goes on, the more it plays into Dustin Poirier's his favor, because he's a guy who's battle tested, who gets, you know, once he gets hit and once he knows he can take that shot, then he gets stronger and stronger as the fight goes on. Which Conor McGregor, he gets weaker and weaker as the fight goes on, and then it becomes a war of attrition. So I'm thinking Conor McGregor is going to maybe catch him early and get him up out of early, because he really has to, in a sense, because the longer the fight goes on, like I was saying, it favors Dustin.
All right, so if you were in Dustin's corner, what would be the strategy? What would be your keys to victory for him to be able to pull this off as a big underdog?
Well, I think the biggest key for him is just to tie up Conor as much as possible, get Conor to expend so much energy with just a wrestling aspect of fighting, and then that takes away the punching. When you're able to get the lactic acid flushing through the guy's arms and his arms feel heavy, then he doesn't have the snap on his punches like he would if he was fresh. So if he can get Conor to wrestle or do something that's going to be getting his arms, sap some of the strength out of his arms, then that would take some of the power and accuracy off that crazy left hand that he has.
And so basically, you're saying Conor needs to come out fast, come out strong, try to establish that left hand, land that power to get rid of Dustin early on. And you know, you said that Dustin's chances are taking him deep into going to a decision. Do you think Poirier could win a decision if it does go the distance?
I definitely think if it goes to the decision, I think Dustin Poirier definitely can win this fight. I mean, you know, this is his game. You know, he's one of the guys who have, you know, have taken the punishment and getting stronger as the fight goes on, and he knows that he can take the punishment, and his mindset, he knows he won't give up. And that's the thing about it. You know, he's been in the wars with Max Holloway and the war with Justin Gaethje and the last fight with Dan Hooker. Those are some true wars where he had to dig deep. He had to find that other person, and I think he's going to be able to find that other person if Conor McGregor does not get him up out of here, because if he takes some of those big left hands and then he realizes, oh man, I'm okay, and then he's going to start being like, you know what, I can walk through these shots to land my own, then that's when Conor McGregor will get in big trouble.
So just to recap, you're taking Conor McGregor minus 305. You're taking under 2.5 rounds. You really think that big left hand is going to find the mark early on and get Poirier out of there. Rashad, thanks again for your time, and look to see you soon.
No problem. Thank you.